up to our immortals out there, and welcome back to Infinity Complex Palace of the Immortals. I am Chris.
I'm Leah.
I am Gamgee.
We are back with more Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist / EvoGrow. EvoGrow is an experimental game that I am developing. There's no official rule set yet. We're just kind of playing it out as we develop the rules to see how it goes. The game itself is evolving and growing as the characters inside evolve and grow as well. Kind of a pun, kind of a play on words. I kind of wonder if I'm going to stick with the name, but as I continue to say it, I'm starting to like it more and more and more. With that in mind, the last time we left off, it was Ganji's turn, and they were inside of an abandoned facility inside of a mountain. And Ganji was pursuing an unknown shuffling figure of approximately 2.5 feet tall, and had recently gained Rust Touch.
Yes. I am the Rust Master.
He was trying to rust something when we got infected, wasn't he?
I was going to try, but Chris said I wouldn't be able to become bigger than the shuffling thing by the time it reached me.
Correct.
So instead, I'm going to go back and squeeze through the door in hopes that I can get away.
Okay.
The possibly
Threatening Shuffler. Yeah. It's still in shadow too much for him to be able to do anything.
So we're reaching the door and we see Ganji retreating. Me and JR.
Yes.
Okay, well I'm gonna hold my position.
Because you're concerned. Okay.
And I don't know if I saw the shuffling creature at any point.
I think we both saw
that's-
it.
No, that's fair if she's like, I don't know. That's her decision. She made that decision. Now she's not sure. So, if you don't know, then you don't know what's there. You just see him retreating for an unknown reason you aren't aware of.
Okay.
So, I'll go with that one.
And you know JR probably wouldn't have been paying enough attention to remember it either, so.
Yeah, so no issues there. Okay. So,
Then I guess that would just be one of my turns, right?
yeah.
Backing up, I am also going to touch Leah to convey the danger. Possible danger.
Okay, so I feel fear.
Yes.
Or whatever
Potential
the
fear.
case is. Okay.
And urgency.
Why did I do that? This is
Probably
stupid.
not big enough and heavy enough to push the door back into place or anything. So.
No.
What?
So you're gonna squeeze your way back through.
Yes. And I also have conveyed the danger to Leah.
Alright. So, JR pretty much ignored the danger the last time.
He also didn't have eyeballs, though.
But he even ignored danger when you told him there was danger. So even though you guys are reacting to danger, JR doesn't immediately react to danger the same way you guys do.
Yeah.
So, he waited until it was imminent to actually start doing something about it.
So he's
Makes sense.
right next to the door.
No. He's going to go ahead, and I'm going to say he's going to consume a host of cockroaches. So, like, let's...
Just consume them.
No, not cockroaches. Let's have him consume... How big is he?
88 ounces.
I don't know.
53 ounces.
Let's have him consume a large rat.
Okay. So,
Like,
mass
let's just...
or essence?
assimilate. Sorry.
Large rat.
Yeah, simulate a large rat.
Well, you know what L.rat
How large we talking?
Just like he's he's what?
53 ounces.
So that's like 4 pounds. I mean, I don't think that any rat's gonna exceed 4 pounds. Like maybe like a 2.5 pound rat, but. No, it's just one large rat. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Yeah. And with that, give him a tail nubbin.
Tail nubbin.
Thea's got legitimate legs now, right?
What'd you say, Gamgee?
Thea has legitimate legs now? Yes?
No, not quite legitimate legs. They're not. She's
Like
still
little
slime
stubby
form,
legs?
But
Like
they're
little
longer.
stubby legs that 2 are longer, or
2 of them are
4
shorter.
longer, and 2 of them are shorter.
6 of them are longer. You had 6 legs originally.
6 are longer.
But then
2
you
are
consumed a
shorter.
bunch of spiders and gained an extra pair of legs. So, yes. Okay. So, the shambling thing comes in, and it gets close enough to where you can see it's some sort of bipedal creature that's about 2.5 feet tall and is covered in some sort of metal plates and is loosely holding some sort of metal implement in its hand. The metal is rusted a little bit, well, quite a lot, and the creature is just as decayed, so it's hard to make out what it used to be. But there are patches of hair on its face that are rather bushy and long.
So, is it a skelly man?
A zombie dwarf?
Zombie dwarf?
Zombie dwarf!
Ew. Okay.
Ew.
So there's some sort of creepy creature coming at us with a sword, loosely held in his hand, or some metal implement.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like zombie tools.
Okay, well, I'm still not big enough to eat it. So, I guess I'm gonna try and find the biggest thing in the room I can eat.
Alright. How big are you again? In ounces?
139 ounces.
You're almost 10 pounds. So, there's quite a lot you're starting to be able to get to eat in this. There are several rusted helms. There are animals around the area and stuff. Oh, you're inside the blacksmith, right? There are no helms, sorry. You're back inside the smithy. So there are tools. I forgot, there's some, like, obviously there's a couple of loose bricks around. The furnaces have some cold coals in them too, so you could eat the charcoal. What else? Let's say there's a couple of lizards, considering you're underground. So...
But probably not very big lizards.
No, but...
So I will go get in the furnace
you can eat whatever you want.
to hide and consume some coals. Will I become too big for the furnace?
No, they're rather... Gamgee can vouch for this, because he probably knows. But, like, a medieval furnace is rather large and open.
Oh, yeah, it's basically like a standing fireplace.
Yeah.
So, how many coals do I get?
Be a lot of coals.
You would consume your weight in charcoal, basically.
139 ounces.
Yeah, because they would have put, like, what? There'd be... What, Gamgee? There'd be, like, what, 50 pounds of coal, like, burnt-out coal in there? And ash. Well, it'd actually be mostly ash. But there'd be, like, 50 pounds of ash in there, babe. You don't know how big they are.
So, we say I consume 139 ounces of ash.
Of ash.
Okay.
You consumed it?
Yeah, I'm adding it to my math.
Holy fuck! 139 times 2 is 278.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm now at 278 ounces, and I'm
278
hiding
ounces.
inside the
Alright, we're gonna have to
furnace.
start measuring you in pounds. You're gonna have to do ounces and pounds at this point. You're so big. The ounces, you have to do individual ounces to keep track of how much you actually weigh, because some items give you ounces, some will give you pounds. But you have to be able to measure the ounces and pounds individually. Until you're so big that it's pounds, that it's all, like, literally ounces no longer matter to you.
Okay, I weigh 17 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot of pounds. Alright, so yeah, she's,
I'm still, like,
you're huge. You're,
toddler size. Not quite toddler size.
you remember you were about 7 inches before you consumed a little bit and got bigger than you.
So I weigh 9 pounds as a baby.
And now you're,
As a newborn.
how big did you say you were? 17 pounds?
Yes.
You're big. That's big. Imagine trying to lift 17 pounds. So, she just sits there and absorbs the ash, basically, getting bigger and bigger. Gamgee,
Yes.
what do you want to do?
I'm going to do the same thing as Leah, but I'm going to rust things and eat it. Since the zombie dwarf is slow, right? He's got stubby zombie legs.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and automatically say because you're gonna eat the rust, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna automatically
Strategically.
say that because you're going for speed purposes, you're gonna consume any rust available right now.
Yeah.
In the
And then I
entire
wouldn't have
smithy-
time to slowly create more rust to eat. It is a
Right.
zombie.
Right. I will give you this. I will say in the smithy, what's his current weight?
88 ounces.
So he's about 5 pounds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's give him another 5 pounds of so he's not 88 ounces. Yeah, just give him the 88 ounces. Let's give him double his weight in rust.
This is consuming.
You're consuming, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's not. You did assimilate the other rust, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Oh.
had it over in the M.
Oh, no. I consumed the rust, I believe.
Oh, and I gave you rust touch for consuming it. Well,
Yeah.
fuck it. Just assimilate some. Hint. I'll give you rust touch.
Okay, I will assimilate.
You want
Just
to do
have it-
half and half?
Just have him. No, have him assimilate
Yeah, half and
10
half.
ounces of rust. That's all you need. I'll give it to you after 10 ounces of rust.
Okay.
And then take the rest of it. The rust of it. So it's another 78 ounces, putting him at 166 ounces. So now you're 10 pounds, 6 ounces.
Nice.
And you have rust touch. Still.
Primitive rust touch.
Yes. That was my fuck up, so whatever. Gamgee, as you go around the room, doing all this stuff, you, encounter a small lizard. The lizard is standing, like, its legs are standing straight up. It looks like a cat. When a cat's trying to make itself look big, right?
Yeah.
And its cheeks are inflating.
The lizard?
Yeah.
This lizard stepping to me?
It's stepping to you.
As a zombie is about?
I'm not saying I should say small. It's not small. It's a rather large lizard. It's come out of a hole in the wall. Sorry, why did I say small? It's a rather large lizard. It looks like it's rather aggressive, and it's a little pissed off that you've gotten too close to its home in the wall.
Yeah? And the zombie is still chasing me, right?
The zombie is still chasing you, yeah.
How far away is the zombie? Do I have time to fuck up this lizard?
I'm gonna say just barely.
I'm gonna ignore the lizard, actually. I'm gonna just continue to consume dust.
Alright. Well, JR has come back in, and he's wandered around because he's now seen that he's been pushed in by the zombie. Obviously, the danger's become imminent. So he's now back inside, and he sees you stop, examine something, and then leave. So he goes over and examines it, sees the lizard, and decides, you know what? I'm not gonna mess with this either. I'm gonna get bigger and come back. So
is the lizard still mean mugging?
It's mean mugging everyone who comes over. It's just defending its hole in the wall. So he goes over, and I'm gonna say he consumes, I don't know, another, what did I say? 16 ounces brick. So, oh, I won. Hey, what do you know? He consumes another, like, 3 bricks. So give him another 48 ounces. Yeah, so he gets 48 ounces bigger. How big is he now?
Hang on. X3 gains another 48. So 101?
101 ounces?
It's 3 plus 48.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, that's right. Alright, Leo, what do you want to do now?
So the zombie's distracted.
Oh,
by
right.
Gamgee.
I forgot. So, you guys hear a or the thing starts throwing against the door.
Okay.
And
Classic zombie
it
maneuver.
starts falling in towards you guys. You didn't consume the lizard, so I'm giving you a little bit more time, because if you assimilated the lizard, it may have taken a second. So I'm going to give you a little bit more time. But you don't have enough time to assimilate the lizard before the zombie gets in now. So, yep.
Okay, so it's still in the hallway, and I'm still hiding. So, can I, like, roll around and make myself ash color? Like, camouflage myself?
Okay, yeah. Leah rolls around and covers herself in ash and just hides in the furnace. You kind of squat yourself down. Or melt yourself down a little bit. Using your slime form to flatten out. Gamgee?
It's the exit. The door that
Behind
the
it.
zombie
We'll be
behind
it
the door
soon.
that it's behind
There are
zombie.
two things you could do. You and JR can fit concurrently. Try and find a way to hide. Wait for the zombie to break in, and then try and get past it. Or deal with Anger Lizard.
I added a color to my sheet. Some green.
I'm going to
That's
go
transparent.
belly
I haven't
bump.
edited it yet. Sorry,
Lizard.
I have been delaying on
I
that.
didn't see it, but I am green.
Yeah, you're a semi-translucent green. What did you say, JR? Or Gamgee?
What color am I? Do I have a color yet?
I gotta see what you've assimilated. I've been less focused on that right now. But that's why I'm keeping track of everything you guys have
I feel
assimilated.
like he'd be mostly brown and red. Brownish red.
Let me see. Okay. Cockroaches, dirt, baby snakes,
Chicken.
eggs, mixed insects, wood, grubs, 13 ounces of cloud. You assimilated 13 ounces of fucking cloud. And and 10 ounces of you'd be a rusty red. You'd be a rusty brown. It's not wrong.
The chicken isn't in there, is it?
No,
I did assimilate a
not
chicken.
in
That's
there.
how I got my chicken nose.
Yeah, I did not assimilate the chicken somehow.
Well, add it to the list.
Yeah. That was
It's back at the
before the grubs, but
submerging
after the
house.
wood.
Yeah.
It was actually a chick, so it's just a very angry.
Sad.
It was just a very angry chick. I'm gonna give you guys a hint here. Infant animals will grant greater essence boosts, or towards abilities and stuff, because like stem cells and all that, like all their life energy is still in their body, so it's like you get a ton of essence from a newborn. It's a little disturbing, but it's a good way of
Very
getting yourself
disturbing.
a new ability.
Okay, so he is a reddish brown,
Yep.
transparent reddish brown.
No, I'd say by now he's starting to lose his translucency. So let's just say he's now. No, let's call him copper.
Key red.
Copper brown, not copper, not metallic though. Copper hue.
Copper brown hue. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. With all the, he's mostly brown, but the rust he's consumed or assimilated would have. Your assimilations are what adjust your colors. So.
Yeah. That's why I was green. I used a lot of bugs and assimilated a lot of bugs and grass, so it makes sense that I'd be green.
So I'm gonna slam into this lizard. I'm gonna go belly bump him.
You're gonna go hard on the lizard.
Yeah.
You don't have time.
Get back in his hole, basically.
No, he's not right. He rolls into him really fast and pushes the lizard back into the hole. But now you're doing some combat with the lizard in the hole, while the zombie smashes through the door. JR is going to hide under a table in the shadows and just kind of pray that nothing happens. I don't think he's assimilated much that would have affected his color. So I think his...
Leaves, earthworm, bugs, mushrooms, stone, rat.
Holy crap, everything he's eaten has been white or gray. But he still hasn't assimilated a lot, so he would still be translucent enough to where, in the shadows, he's invisible.
Okay, so he's still translucent.
Yeah. So, Gamgee, Leah, it's your turn. Gamgee's dealing with the lizard.
The thing is just now broken through the door.
Yeah. And you're laying there going,
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm being stealthy. Excuse me, I'm farting as well as being stealthy.
that is not stealthy.
No, I could be smelled from a mile away.
That is smelthy.
Stealthy. Don't. Keep your face trapped in your shirt. You don't want to smell this. There, I got it to just...
So anyway, so Leah's not gonna move. Gamgee, you gotta deal with the lizard.
Yes. Of course.
What would you like to do?
And how does the lizard react to being pushed?
It is mostly clawing at you, but it is also hitting you with its tongue, and its tongue it's punching holes in you and pulling slime off, pulling mass off of you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, pretty sick of all that, so I'm going to assimilate its tongue the next time it pokes it through me.
If you're gonna assimilate its tongue, it's connected to the lizard, so you're assimilating the lizard.
But specifically the tongue.
Apparently we can't bite.
So the lizard literally hits you with its tongue, and you're like, nope, not this time, and you start using your assimilation ability to stick it there, and literally assimilate it tongue first. It's like, ah.
That's what he gets.
Okay, so
He was threatening my mass.
assimilating the lizard.
Yes, one cave chameleon.
No.
Okay, a chameleon.
Yes, Gamgee's gonna gain two abilities. Or two things. He's gonna gain a trait, and he's gonna gain an ability. His first trait is Gamgee.
Yes.
You grow. You literally feel stone growing from where your nose would be, and under
Stone?
your eyes and around your eyes, until you have what is essentially a stone bandit mask over your eyes.
So,
Or around your eyes. The only thing visible are your eyes.
I don't know how you want me
The
to...
rest of the slime that would be there is completely covered. It's stone mask. It's face. Decoration.
Face decoration.
It would be decoration.
Okay.
So you
But
now have...
stone mask is fine.
First thing you get is your stone mask. The second thing you
I
get is
don't-
an ability. Ready?
Eh?
Slime punch.
The chameleon?
From the chameleon.
So he's got rust touch and slime punch. Can he rust touch with his slime punch?
Yes. So, you ready, Gamgee? I'm gonna explain what you've got here as your
That's
weapon.
a mouthful.
You ready?
Yeah.
You can now, unlike Leah and JR, who
It's
are
like a
kind of
headbutt.
restricted in their
Sickle.
physical form, you can now use any part of your body that isn't a limb as a current right now. It's primitive, but you can use it as a short-range weapon, a short-range punch. Any part of your body that isn't currently a limb, you can use it as a short-range punch.
Am I covered in rock
Huh?
Am I covered in rock completely now?
No, just your face.
eyes.
The chameleon you basically you gained what looks like the chameleon's face.
Shouldn't it be scales? Like a chitin?
Well, it's
Some
okay, so
kind?
it's stone scales. It's a stone scale mask. You're right.
Alright.
It's a stone. It was
It's
a
cool,
stone
then.
lizard. I'm giving you two things here: a weapon and armor. Bite me.
I wanted a long tongue.
You have a long tongue. The tongue ability turns into the slime punch for your current form.
Okay.
You don't have a mouth.
Hey, I can't have a tongue with no
I can limit it
mouth.
and make it to where you can only fire it from where your mouth would be.
I like it being...
I've given you more
Can
of
I
a
do
Gatling
multiple
ability.
punches? Can I do multiple at once, or can it only be one at a time?
One punch at a time.
One punch.
Right now. It'll get stronger.
Right.
It's
Right.
actually gonna be more
Very
like
cool.
the Robin. No, not really. It's
Alright. Now, if you do consume, like, slimes primarily at some point, and end up keeping your slime form, in your, like, after going from pupil form to next form, you'll stay a slime for the remainder of the game. I'm telling you that now because that is a way to remain a slime, and Gamgee can keep his slime punch, but if he changes form into a flesh form, I'll give him a new ability and evolve it from
I
something
want to
more-
be as grotesque as I can possibly be.
nice.
I'm glad you
Yes.
said that, because that's exactly what I'm hoping you guys will do, is just become crazy fucking
So
looking
far,
like
I'm gonna be
monsters.
a spider
Thing?
thing, a spider rabbit.
Alright.
With ice
so,
powers.
JR sees that you've assimilated the lizard and that it's safe to hide in there, and thinks he's gonna go in there, but then's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay here. The zombie dwarf looks around for a little bit, realizes, or decides there's nothing worth his interest after a while, and turns around and shuffles back out. But as he does, a piece of his armor falls off.
Cool. Make a piece of metal on this creature, we don't know what it is.
Yeah. I'm just describing to you what happened. It's easier than the rest of it.
Alright, well I wanna go check out whatever fell off of them and see if I'm big enough to eat it.
Okay. The piece of armor that falls off of him is small enough for you to eat. You are rather huge at this point.
Right.
Man, my fucking backfire on me somehow.
I think I'm gonna assimilate it.
Alright.
More metal.
How much metal have you assimilated?
3.5 ounces.
Piece of armor. So you got you've assimilated 5 pounds of metal, you motherfucker. Alright, that's fine. I love you, babe.
What? Okay.
Yeah, what?
So no, I don't gain anything.
You assimilated 5 pounds of metal. Alright, babe. What are your current features?
I have no eyes, I have no mouth, no nose, and no ears. I have a proto tail, I have 6 long proto limbs and 2 short proto limbs. I have no back, no stomach, and no decorations. I have consume, assimilate, electrocommunication, and the frost touch.
Man, I am having a hard time figuring out what to do with you right now.
Wanted a challenge. You don't have the slime that I assimilated onto.
No, I forgot that too. I was kind of in a hurry with you guys that night. There are a few things that aren't on there that I still have to add. Your frost ability isn't written down.
Yeah, I just added the frost touch. Primitive. Okay,
No basic, but
if you want to figure out my metal later,
no, I'll figure it out now. It's fine.
just getting up because I have to.
Let's see. You know what? No, it's fine. I know what to do with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna store it.
Store it.
I'm gonna store it. It has you've gained enough to where as soon as something applicable comes up, it will be applied to that applicable object. So it's literally a feature or an ability waiting to happen. It's just waiting for the catalyst. Cool. I really thought I was gonna lose this one. Goddamn fucking fairy box. It literally gets it every fucking time. Or doesn't. He didn't get it that time. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use my time wizard. 'Cause I'm Joey Wheeler and I failed and killed myself. Alright. So.
You're saving the metal for later. I just accepted. Zombies gone. We're 3. 2 of them hiding. Me out.
Yeah, we basically win this encounter.
Our camouflage abilities rock.
JR is gonna find well, he's gonna find the lizard's meal after you he's gonna go into the cave and look at the lizard's meal. Oh, JR or Gamgee, you gotta figure out what you're gonna do. You're still in the cave.
Is there anything noteworthy in the cave?
Yeah, there's the remains of the lizard's meal. Last meal.
Is it?
It's a dwarven hand.
Thin hand.
Mostly rotten.
Consume it.
You're gonna consume
And join Leah.
it. Consume the hand.
Oh, I turned off the light to begin with.
Yeah, you did.
No. I'm going to assimilate the hand, actually.
You're going to assimilate the dwarven hand.
Now that I
Alright.
think about it.
Now this is fun. Because... yeah. Alright. Gamgee.
Yes.
After you assimilate the dwarven hand... right? You, that's the word I'm looking for. You, damn it, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. You start to smell.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I smell like.
Rotting, I'm guessing?
Rot. You smell like rot. You start to smell like rot.
Me and JR don't have noses, so we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know that either, but everything around you starts to smell like rot. But worse than that, right?
Yes.
There are like mushrooms and stuff inside the cave that are just a little bit further back from the hand you didn't initially see. And they also rot.
Yeah.
From your presence.
So he has rot aura now?
And rust touch.
Wow.
That's
He's gonna be
so far.
decaying monster.
Well, because
Yeah.
I gave him the reason I gave you that is because I figured the combination of rust and the combination of rot gives him a good balance of decay. And now both abilities are going to be blended and they're going to go from primitive to the third stage we've determined, which is going to be advanced decay touch.
Now, what does that do exactly?
Basically, you can't make it speed up. You can't speed up time for the object, but it's essentially the same thing. anything that's already in a state of decay, you can make decay at a significantly greater rate. Currently, you can make it decay to the point to where you can decay it and consume it as long as... Well, let me just put it this way. You've got a lot of ability. You can decay basically anything that you can touch. If it can rot, if it can rust, if it can mold and decay from... Well, wood lasts longer. But if it can decay over time...
And it's already a little decayed.
You can do it.
Which is pretty much anything.
Which is pretty much anything. However, the ability is, like I said, it's still limited in its speed.
And it has to already be in
yeah,
a like decay.
I was going to give you at level 1, I was going to say you can decay like 1 square inch every 3 seconds. So I'm going to stick with the same time frame of every 3 seconds, but I'm going to start doubling it up. No, I'm going to quadruple it. So now you can decay 16 square inches of space every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
No, that's way too powerful.
Yeah.
Space.
The fact that I have level 3 of both of them seems overpowered, to be honest.
Let's just double it up. So it's 4 square inches every 3 seconds. You don't, and it's not level 3 of both. It's both have become one ability. You no longer have rust touch or rot touch. Or you never really gained rot touch.
I just decay.
You evolved your rust touch into decay touch by eating something that was rotting. Plus, you actually ate a zombie's hand. Or assimilated it. So, that's why you've gained the smell of rot. Again, you can turn off your abilities too. You can turn off your decay touch. But you can no longer
good.
You can no longer use just rust touch.
I feel like I shouldn't be able to turn off the stink.
You can turn off the stink.
That doesn't make sense, though.
Well, it's mostly that the smell is coming off of you while you use it.
Hey.
And you were actively using it when you rotted those mushrooms because you just got it. It means when you are using the ability, you're not going to be very stealthy.
Gotcha.
So it's a downside, but there's an upside. You're like, I'm going to sit here and eat, and people are like, what the fuck is that? And the higher that level gets, the worse the smell's going to get. At level right now, at level 3, I'm going to say it's like, it's pungent. It's not enough to clear a room, but it's enough to make people go, whoa. Who farted?
So it don't stink like one of them stink plants?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
like
that
a corpse
bad.
flower.
It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. It's still tolerable after a few minutes of being around you. It's that kind of smell that after a while you're like, oh, I'm used to it, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stench of rotting hand.
Yeah, it's bad. Well, right now it's like that sickly sweet smell, to where after a while you're like, it's actually not that bad.
Hilarious.
Alright, well, I guess I will join Leah now.
In the middle of the room, or wherever it was
Sure.
the armor dropped.
Alright, so I gotta do something for JR now, since you ate his meal. JR was under the table. I'm gonna say he goes to investigate the armor that you consumed as well, and finds a pouch. And JR has no ability, so I gotta get him some sort of an ability.
Okay.
So,
Don't forget to write it down and stuff.
how big is he?
It's like somewhat big.
101 ounces.
Yeah.
I can I cannot validate something that he can eat in a pouch that would give him an ability.
Unless it was like an enchanted something.
JR decides he's gonna just stay under the table for a little bit, and eat some spiders.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give JR a spinneret.
So now we can make
And
spiders.
weave a web.
Web. We've got the journals.
Yeah, so now he
shall
has
be the
spinneret,
web
so to
weaver.
speak, but he has like a little, I don't want to describe it as a butthole, but it's a little pucker on his body that he can fire.
JR's special ability is his new
That
butthole.
he can fire. Yes, basically.
I wish he was here.
Yeah, he would love this.
Yeah, but he might not consume the spiders on his own.
Whatever.
I've never gotten the butthole.
But he can fire a very strong but very thin strand of his slime. Right now, I'm gonna say he can do it up to 2 feet.
Okay.
And no matter how big he gets, that strand will always be strong enough to hold him. I got my ass. One more turn, or 2 more turns, and then we'll be done.
Yeah. We're at the 46.
Yeah, okay.
So we did like 20
So,
minutes.
2 more turns, real fast. We'll do them as fast as we can.
Hey.
Alright, so the zombie dwarf is shambling off. And, after a while, you guys basically just wait for him to get away, because he's too big. After a while, he makes it out of there, and you guys go back into the other room, I'm guessing, that he's now opened up the door for.
Yeah, the hallway or whatever it was.
Gamgee,
Yeah?
is that what you're gonna do, or do you want to stay in the blacksmith?
Nah, we can leave. Ready to
Alright.
leave.
So, you guys go ahead and, you walk out.
We walk out.
Yes.
Oh, cool, that's awesome. Sorry, I was reading something. And, or you roll out, sorry, so to speak, or whatever, you slime out. And, you're now back in the hallway where all of the rusted gear was. You are now both large enough to eat pretty much everything in this room. There is also a host of rats, spiders, insects, things like that. There's also, I forgot to add it in there, but I'm going to add mold and moss.
Are there any bats? Not that I know what they
No
are.
bats. There's some wooden tables, some stone bricks, and a smattering of like you guys go through the next. Actually, you guys are just gonna go through the hallway, right? Because there's nothing left in this room for you guys to eat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that. There's nothing left in this room for you guys to eat. You get into the next
Headed
room.
out.
Zombies moved on for now. You guys are in the next room, and you get in there, and the floor is littered in bone fragments.
Okay. Angie, did you say something about something?
Ganji?
Oh,
Did you say
the bone fragments are inconsequential.
Well, it's
To me?
littered in bone fragments, weapons, armor, pouches, bodies. Like some of the bodies have just been crushed underfoot. You can actually see like a path of where the zombies have been walking around and crushing the skeletons that are underfoot for decades, for years.
And
Okay.
It's fucked up, right?
yeah,
It's
I am.
It's bone powder, basically.
bone fragments at this point. It's not a nut bone powder. Some of it's been powdered, but most of it's still fragmented because there's armor and stuff around it.
I'm gonna sift through the bone and see if I find anything like shiny or noteworthy.
There are a number of small common rings, a couple of other rings of more precious metals, but nothing with gemstones. Because I have no idea how to implement gemstones yet.
Stick one of my legs through a ring. One of the front short ones. And just stick it through there. Can I even do that if it's small enough?
Why not?
I've got an armband now. Why is that so funny to you?
Oh my god, Gamgee!
Yes.
You know why this is funny to me.
Is the other thing? The other one you're doing?
Yeah! This is fucking hilarious. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I literally almost died just now, guys. Oh my god. Okay. Woo!
Yes. I am going to further decompose some of the bodies and assimilate all of that.
The bodies that are still bodies, a little bit bodies, or just...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so some of the zombies have been recently killed, it looks like. And so, I'm gonna say, for you to consume one of the zombies' bodies,
Yes.
without consuming the armor, because you can't consume armor and bodies at the same time. Are you assimilating or consuming?
I am assimilating.
Are you sure?
Why would I not be sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. I'm going to say that until we... I'm going to say that it's going to take you a while to do that.
Okay.
A whole body, 2.5 feet, assimilated by over decay at a rate of 4 inches per 3 seconds. It's going to take you a hot minute. So, I'm going to basically ask Leah what she wants to do for the next few hours.
We decide what JR wants.
Right. Gamgee starts assimilating a zombie dwarf corpse. And, for the next few hours, he's basically stuck that way.
Okay, well I'm gonna consume my weight in bone fragments, I guess.
Okay? For the next few hours.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So,
Oh Lord, she coming.
I gotta figure out the weight of a 2.5 foot skeleton.
Things you never thought you'd Google.
Right?
The FBI agent watching your phone is about to be like, "Excuse me?" Okay.
Weight of, god damn it, weight of a dwarf skeleton from High Fantasy. Alright. So it says the weight of a dwarf is 150 pounds in most high fantasy games. So that's a 2.5 foot thing. Well, that's a 2.5 foot. So that's assuming that that's like 100 pounds a foot at 250 or 100.
But that's how much
150 pounds. Sorry, that's 50 pounds a foot.
Not how much a skeleton weighs.
Right. It's not a skeleton. It's a zombie. It's rotted a little bit.
I see.
So it would probably. But you're going after the skeleton. Sorry, you're going after the bone fragments. There would be. I'm just trying to figure out how many bone fragments there would be from this battle going on here, and just for the next few hours. Bone fragments aren't going to take long to assimilate because they're not big, and you don't have to decay them as you go. And you're consuming them, which means you're just adding it to your mass. Let's say you manage to consume in the same time frame it takes Gamgee to assimilate the corpse. 35 pounds of bone fragments.
Hot damn.
You are now immense compared to Gamgee. Gamgee, JR is going to... I'm gonna have JR continue to assimilate animals and consume loose stuff for the next few hours. So, Gamgee, just randomly throw me shit from that we've encountered so far for animals.
Chickens.
Yeah, well, that would be here.
Various bugs.
Yeah, okay, we can do mixed bugs.
Yeah, the rats. There's probably more rats or lizards about.
Let's say, he eats almost a couple pounds of mixed bugs. There's what?
Rats. Lizards. Right, did JR also eat a rat, or did you change that
JR
to the
ate
lizard?
a rat and got a nubbin. So, he could eat more rats. Centipedes, too. I forgot about centipedes. Like larger centipedes. They don't count as mixed bugs because they're pure size. There's also a variety of like leather pouches and stuff around the area too. And moss, mold, rings. So throw some more things at me here. Give me like 5 more objects. Just rapid fire them. Don't even.
Pretty much got them all.
Yeah, sure. Some rope. A coil of rope. Which rope would be.
Some wood.
A piece of wood. I'd say he would consume the piece of wood, but he's gonna assimilate the rope for no reason other than to assimilate the rope. The rope is.
Should help with his.
Oh yeah, that's actually funny. No, I'm not gonna do. Yeah, actually, I'll do that. I'll give him a silk rope. Now he can't fire slime. He can fire silk.
Cool.
So he consumes a coil of silk rope.
You still need to add his butthole.
Yeah.
His self-firing butthole.
Butthole. I just wrote it right there on his character sheet in big letters.
All of this e-hole.
He's gonna be like, what do you mean my butthole? You heard us. You got a butthole.
The first slime with a butthole.
So anyway. What did you say, Gamgee? Oh, a piece of wood. Yeah, let's say he'll take that in for mass. Let's say it's a 1 pound thing, so another 16 ounces from that. So 1 pound plank. Babe, throw me something.
Another something?
Yeah. And Gamgee, give me the last one.
That would be in this room full of dead bodies. Golden tooth.
A golden tooth.
Would that be a thing?
Yeah, that would. I mean, they're dwarves. they would probably have had golden teeth. That tracks. So, assimilate or mass? Assimilate. It wouldn't be much for mass. I don't think he would be like, it's too small to add to my mass. I'm gonna assimilate it. So, let's say 0.1 ounces of gold. It's not a lot, but he's like, ooh, cool. Okay. And then Gamgee, last thing.
Maybe like some kind of parchment.
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 Is he going to assimilate it or consume it? That's a good
Beard.
one. Huh?
Just beards. Beard hair.
Or beard hair?
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes around eating a bunch of beard hair. For the last step. Okay.
Is he a beard of prey?
And how much beard hair
Yes,
does
he will be.
assimilate it or consume it?
He's got to assimilate it, right?
JR is getting a beard.
Nice.
I can't. You're like, I'm gonna assimilate a shit ton of beard hair. I'm like, okay, you know what? He's just gonna consume all the beard hair. I'm just gonna write all the beard hair. Literally, that's what's going on his character sheet. Whoops. Oop, I need to move that there. Later. So, all the beard hair. And now, as decoration, he has a beard.
Excellent.
JR literally grows hair from like halfway down his slime and like partially around it. With a mustache and everything. He's got no mouth, but there's a space where the mouth should be. He has a full.
He's got a goatee.
beard, but it's not trimmed, maintained. It's just bushy because it's just bushy.
Nice.
Gamgee, you ready for your final effect? Because you've been assimilating shit all night. Leah's been consuming and growing.
Yes.
Like you two took totally different routes tonight,
I assimilated a couple things.
but you made major growth. Gamgee
Yeah, you
decided
big.
to go with massive assimilation, which is why he gained so many abilities. Gamgee,
Yes.
if I am not mistaken, you do not. Okay.
What?
So, you ready?
Sure.
You start to feel a little weird. Okay?
What kind of weird?
Really weird. Special effects, because I have no other way of doing this that I can make sense. The massive amount of assimilation you've done has granted you a very large amount of DNA from a very large creature.
It's a matter of perspective.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right now, because your perspective is changing dramatically. You feel two limbs coming out from where you're from, like partially of your front, and two limbs coming out the back. But it's getting weirder than that. You're getting taller, and these limbs are coming out beneath you and on your sides.
So I'm just being person.
You currently look like a 1 foot version of Flubber.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
But with chicken eyes.
With chicken eyes. A stone mask. A stone scale mask. You also have got you've got a scaled texture across your entire skin, which I'm going to now reinforce as a deeper scaled pattern. So you're no longer a smooth slime. You're a bumpily slime.
Nice. Admire my new bumpilies.
They're all over your body, but the stone mask is thicker and more, it's like, everything is slime, but the stone mask stands out. You have 4 tendrils coming out of your back.
Hey?
The top 2 are longer than the back 2. Or the top 2 are
right,
longer
for the
than the
wing.
bottom 2.
Right.
And,
Right about those.
you have you have 2 fingers and a thumb, as well as 3 rudimentary toes.
Nice.
Your toes
Slime
don't really,
reptilian.
Your toes don't really mean anything right now. They're more like grooves in your feet. But when you squash down, you can kind of see the grooves where your feet go, where it's like toes, but there's no actual space. It's kind of like a squash.
It's like a
sock
flipper.
full of rice. So you are now officially the first one to have a solid form.
Yes, I am bipedal as well.
You are no longer capable of using your slime form from anywhere. Your slime punch from anywhere.
I didn't even get to use it.
You had a chance. You could have said I used my slime punch on some of the animals around here.
Right,
but no,
I guess
you chose
so.
to assimilate a dwarf corpse first. Furthermore, your rot ability, I'm gonna give it another bump up because I can't. There's no way I can't give you the. You ate an entire zombie corpse, so I'm gonna give you a bump up to 4. But this is the last time for a very long time. You've basically hit what is the epitome of abilities for most basic creatures, and until you get to the level of what did we call it? You have
The order.
You have greater decay touch. You can
Nice.
right now decay up to 8 square inches of stuff per 3 seconds. It's pretty fucking potent now.
Good.
Right
Can
now, you have the ability
can
of
I
a greater
now
creature, but
cause
until-
things to start rotting?
Yeah, no. You will need to hit the abilities of a grand creature for that.
Okay.
As it stands right now, this is the only greater ability you are granted. You cannot gain any greater abilities because you are not this is the one greater ability I am allowing your Slima form. Anybody who gets a greater ability during their Slima form will only have 1. Congratulations. You made a very powerful choice in assimilating an entire corpse.
Yes.
Leah, you are massive. Fucking massive. Oh, Gamgee, your color changed too.
What?
Yeah.
To what? Red?
More of a... You just consumed and assimilated what is about 100 pounds of rotten flesh. You now have a pallid color about you. Like your rusty color has dulled.
Okay.
So now you're like a dull copper. With
Sure.
like with just like streaks of gray.
Alright. Cool.
You're gonna have fun making me a player.
Yep. Well, the colors will have major effects on your characters and your different evolutions. And JR, I'm gonna wrap up the episode here after I describe JR to everybody. JR has a beard, a butthole, and a tail nubbin. All the beard hair. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with you. At this point, with all the fucking growth you did, you're huge. I have to actually figure
How
out...
much bigger is... Yeah, how big is Leah?
She consumed, what did I say? 35 pounds? 30 pounds?
Well, something like that. I don't remember. You need the right stuff.
30 pounds? She's 47 pounds, dude.
I don't know how many ounces I have.
You're the size of a small child.
Yup.
In like you're about a foot tall. You and Gamgee are about the same size. Gamgee just weighs significantly less than you do because he's just that big because his entire form has been condensed into that shape. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Check us out on Discord and Patreon. Shout out to Diley Bear, Husky Gaming, and Greg Midge Gamer. Whatever you guys choose to do, stay immortal, don't go dying on us. We love all of you. I will be busy for the next 4 days and will not be able to record because I will be taking care of Q's dog. She is sick and in the hospital and unfortunately has been hospitalized for the next week or so. And she has nobody to watch her dog while David is working. So I'm going to have to go over there and watch the dog since we can't watch the dog here for 7 hours at a time.
Yep.
So for the next 4 days, I will not be recording. Guys, go back and watch a lot of these videos. Like them, share them, seriously. We love all of you though. Stay immortal.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.